Many thanks for choosing us. This afternoon, residents of Buduburam have vowed to continue staying in the area. It's barely 24 hours to the expiration of the deadline handed residents of the former refugee camp to relocate, as the area will be demolished. Buduburam previously served as a refugee camp, but has since become home to many West African nationals who opted to live in Ghana after its refugee settlement status was withdrawn. The police and traditional authorities have in recent times demanded a demolition of the area, saying it has become a haven for criminals. The Gomoa East District Assembly says it will demolish the place anytime after today. This is the focus of a bigger conversation we will be having on the pulse this afternoon as the police intensify patrol to clamp down on criminal activities. But first, let's get a sense of what is happening at the Buduburam camp.
If they want us to go, they should open the bowler for us. And then they bring buses. I bet you to go here on the sun that is shining. Liberian people will go, enter motor will go. If they bring buses, to this sun that's shining, Liberian people will enter and go. But when they are going back, know that the intention that they are going with, they are not going with good intention.
The thing that is going on ground is I'm not satisfied at all, because you see, they brought two options to us. 2012, if you can remember. They said that we should choose to go back home or to stay. Some of us have agreed to stay. We expected them to give us some packages, maybe finding houses for us. And we understand. Taking us from out of the refugee camp, relocating us, finding houses, giving us some allowances. Maybe if you are in the working class, they make you to work. If you have the qualification, right? Certain works. If you are supposed to go to school, send you to school. But up to now, we haven't gotten such a package yet. Now, they give us 400 cedis. Think to yourself, can 400 cedis find a house for you for a year in Ghana here? 400 cedis. Can it get you a house? That's the money they are announcing around. They gave us something. Because I was watching a certain news. I don't know who was the minister or who.
So they gave you 400 cedis?
400 cedis per family hairs.
So right now, you are supposed to move today. What are you going to move? Have you packed your things already?
I didn't pack anything. It's there. If they want to come and break their house of my things, let them break it. We will go and sleep in the street. Maybe that's what they want.
Of Ghanaians, Liberians, Ivorians, all of us, we are all one. So they should see about us.
Are you going to move from here?
No, when they say we should move from there, UN should come and decide. We are living with UN people here. You understand? You can't just drop somebody like this. They will come for us. We are tired.
Liberians, they don't come here on their own. Liberians are here because of something that happened back home. You got me? Okay. If people or individuals are coming up to say Liberians should leave this place and go back home, there are certain things they should consider. These people have lived here at this number of time. So if you want to take them from here, let's get certain things straight that we can get them from here. Look at a passport given to a Liberian. And in the passport, I think you saw my friend, I showed it to you. You cannot state in the passport that he shouldn't work here, he shouldn't do anything here. Meanwhile, in Liberia, we have Ghanaians that are working in the ministries. Ghanaians are working without resident permit. For example, go to a place called West Point. Go in place, Buchanan, they are there. Go in Looking Town, they are there. Go in Maryland, Fishtown, they are there. All the coastal area are being controlled by Ghanaians.
They have settlements there.
They have Ghanaian settings in Liberia. That's why I mentioned this place. They have Ghanaian settings in Liberia. That is their community. Where when they born a Ghanaian, he speaks Twi. That is a pure Ghanaian community. You right? But you don't do this to people living here. That they should leave, you're going to break their houses down. Meanwhile, these houses were built by them. They suffer the sweat and they build these houses. So if you want to take them from here, yeah, there's a proper channel you can use. In a better way that you take them from there, you don't bring hurt to them, and you don't bring hurt to Ghanaians living back home. You see it? Now, if you take them from here and they have that pain in their heart, they go back home, what will happen to the Ghanaians there? They will start stoning them, they will start killing them the same way they do to the people here. And it will be very bad for you to come and take someone from here without the proper channel. Go through the rightful channel and get them from here, not in this situation.
If you have your house and you live in your house, they say leave the house and don't lock when how we go out. If you are living in your house and you lock door on you, say go out, how we go out?
So you are saying that they need to give you the opportunity before you can go?
Yes. I'm saying number one, Ghana government says we should go. No problem will go. But border is closed. How will we go? We'll fly and go? No. We can't fly and go. Right now, the government of Ghana saying that the chief have power government. It's true. Because this is Liberian in Ghana. It's not chief and Liberian. It's chief and Ghana government discussing. Liberian government out, I can say, because why? Government of Liberia are waiting in Ghana embassy to accept Liberian for December 1st, which we received last night. Ghana Foreign Ministry read Liberian embassy that December 1st should vacate from the line. But now we are saying people can't discuss about issue. We don't care. If they like today, they bring entire Ghana to come bring the camp that will stay here. It won't for anything. We just look at you. And we want to do. But what is that? Tell your government to open border, we'll go back to our country.
But even if you break the house today, I will stay here today.
Stay right here.
I have nowhere to go. If you see anyone parking that low away, they are Ghanaians. I'm a refugee. There is 3 sets of refugees that are living on this camp. We have those that they gave the passport to, and they have those that they gave a letter to, and they have those to re-apply them. So I'm part of those who have to re-apply UN. So I'm staying here. I have nowhere to go. If you break the house today, I will stay here today. I will not remove even a top from the house. Go and break the house along with the clothes. Let UN come in and let me ask UN. Me, I have not dealing with you. I have dealing with UN. Let me ask UN. Why you bring me here and you leave me outside? You brought me here to shelter me, to give me food to eat. But end of the day, you remove your back on me. You said I should go. How am I going when you close your border? Should I walk to go? Why you pass? I don't have anything to do here. I don't have to work here, as you said. So which means Ghana is belongs to you. Fine, it's Red Cross and UN who brought me here. So now let Red Cross and UN find place for me to go. That is simple.
My being here is not in vain. I came here as a refugee. I never came here to hustle. I never came here to cause problems. Liberia is a peaceful country. We love the whole world. The whole world want to live in Liberia right now.
You are supposed to pack out by close of day today. Have you done that?
I already packed my things and I cannot pack out because they have not come out to my rescue to give my doable solution. They have not given me my doable solution. So I have to stay on the camp. I will stay here. I will sleep on the street. That is it.
Ghana government told Nana Akufo-Addo told us that we should leave. And now our global solution is not yet giving it to us. They said we should leave, and we're not getting anything from them yet. How can we leave today? So what they have, all they should give it out that she can go. Because if we can't give it, we will stay here in their nose and we will not leave. If even they break their houses, we'll still be there. When we leave there, the UN will come for us and we can.
I will not move.
You are saying you are not going to move?
I will not move because Ghana Refugee Board, Ghana government, Ghana UNHCR have not applied a three-dribble solution for the refugees. That is why you see they can't park with Liberians. When they come down with a three-dribble solution, they will not see Liberians on the camp here. Everybody will go. We have voluntary repatriation, we have integration, we have resettlement. The three. They fail to apply it, and that's what the refugees are waiting for. And we must get it. We must get it. Ghana citizens can leave Ghana to go in other people's country to enjoy, to bring riches to their land. Ghana must allow Liberians to be benefited from the blood that we wasted in our land. So indeed, I want to appeal to the government. My appeal, we are not appealing to stay. I am not appealing to stay in Ghana. We're ready to go. But before we go, let it apply the three-dribble solution. Second appeal, let the government mark the houses that they are going to demolish, those marked houses. Let it compensate the people before they demolish them. If they not do it, we will sue them to God. We will sue the government to God. If the government not compensate and they demolish, we will sue them to God. 32 years, Refugees are not working. Refugees are not working. When you say go, where are we going?
My colleague Joseph Akable now joins me via Zoom for more. Joseph, what's the latest on the expected demolition exercise at the Buduburam camp?
For the expectation of the assembly that the area will be vacant to enable the demolition to take place, what we can report now is that the place is still occupied. There are some few individuals who have packed out. In fact, during the course of our interaction with residents, those who were moving out of the place, they were actually being hooted at by those who had opted to stay. And so some people have left, but majority of the homes, and these are mainly makeshift structures. They are not, we don't have a lot of structures that are built in block. They are mainly wooden structures, but there are some few structures that are built in blocks also within. And all those people are still there. And so today when we got there, they had actually gathered at the St. Gregory Catholic Hospital, which is more or less has a bit of a space in front that is used as a community center of sorts. And so they had gathered there, meeting and hoping that they are going to make a case to push forward their opinion that they should be given some form of package before they can move. And that's what they have received. They said some amount of 400 cedis, some say 800 cedis is simply inadequate. It falls within the Gomoa East District Assembly. In fact, it's the assembly that issued that notice. And so we caught up with the DCE, Solomon Dakokwam, who first explains the rationale behind the decision to demolish the area. And he says he's simply carrying out a directive that comes all the way up from the presidency.
I think we should listen to the Gomoa East District Assembly DCE.
We were mandated to sensitize residents in Buduburam, the camp, of an impending demolition, which has been sanctioned by government. And when I say that, you know, from the presidency. And so DISEC met and agreed on a 2-month ultimatum, or if you like, moratorium for residents to leave the place. And that 2 months ends today, being 30th of September. After that, the rest of the matter is a national security issue. So the demolition, the actual demolition, may commence anytime from after today. So that is what is going on, and we decided to put out that final reminder to residents that the last day is here. So basically, that is it.
And what is the specific reason for the demolition? Is it a case that, I mean, because we've heard it being put out there that the area has become a crime haven of sorts. I mean, what specifically is the reason?
It's a myriad of factors. The first is what you have just mentioned. You know, Buduburam has become so notoriously popular for criminal activities. A number of robbers are often chased to that place for arrests and those things. I hope you have not also lost sight of the fact that it was just Buduburam, the same Buduburam, that 2 able-bodied policemen were gunned down one hot afternoon, and several of them. So the security matter challenge is one. But that aside, the place itself has outlived its usefulness. By that I mean it has ceased to be a camp since 2010. Because 1919, when the place was acquired, if you like, to be used as a camp for the refugees from Sierra Leone, Liberia, and co. That has ceased since 2010, because when Liberia became stable, Sierra Leone and those things, the United Nations High Commission on Refugees and the Ghana Refugee Board both undertook repatriation and sent the people there, those who wanted to. And those who wanted to integrate into Ghana, i.e. accept that, oh, they want to be Ghanaians forever, were also given the option. And from my information, they were also given monies to be able to leave the camp and settle anywhere they wanted in Ghana. That is what some have failed to do and have remained there and have become a conduit for other, if you like, non-refugees to also infiltrate into the camp and perpetrate all manner of crime that you and I know. So aside the crime aspect, the camp itself is no more a camp. And indeed, the chiefs who offered the place to government for use as a camp are also demanding their land back for use for other purposes. Just this morning, I met a team. They came. We have met, I think, about 5 teams who all have interest. We are talking of 141-acre land. So it's not unusual to have more than one owner. They have all come, and interestingly, they are all behind. They support the demolition for the place to be used for some other uses. What is left is maybe the dividends that will go to each of those landowners and those things when the place is eventually used for the other purposes we are contemplating. So I am tasked to bring it to their attention, being the DC in the area, that the place will be demolished. Whatever is due them by way of resettlement, reintegration, those things, I'm sure they know the appropriate quarters that handles those things. But let me add that just yesterday, the refugee board were here, and they actually promised that, yes, they are bringing buses to pick their few people of concern. That is the description they gave. People of concern who are still at that place. They are picking them to a place somewhere in Western region. They say they still have a refugee camp there. So I think that is sorted out. I'm sure while they are there, they can continue to engage the appropriate authorities regarding whatever package is due them. But at least I am informed that during the 2010 repatriation, some monies were given them to actually leave this camp. So anybody who is there at their own volition. So that is more or less sorted out.
You heard the DCE of the Gomoa East District Assembly. Now, let me share with you excerpts of the eviction notice served by the Gomoa East District Assembly, and it says, reference to letter of Tuesday, 3rd August 2021, on the above subject matter, the Gomoa East District Security Council DISEC wishes to serve final reminder to all residents in the Buduburam refugee camp that the planned demolition would come off after 30th September 2021, which is today, when all occupants should have vacated the place. DISEC Gomoa East wishes to reiterate that there has not been any extension of the eviction date beyond the 30th September 2021. Neither is the planned demolition also suspended. All occupants and general public are therefore entreated to disregard any contrary information regarding the exercise and adhere to the eviction date as already communicated. Let me ask you this, Akable. As we heard from the video, the people are unwilling to leave the place. How do they intend to handle this? I mean, did the DC tell you?
I mean, as far as the DC is concerned, he says the instructions that he has from above, and he makes reference to the presidency, is to communicate to these residents that the demolition can take place sometime after September 30th, and so they should relocate. And so he says that is all that they have to say. And when I asked him specifically about whether the assembly has any intentions to make available some funds by way of compensation, his response was to point me to how his office looks and how the assembly itself looks, and that the assembly is not in a position to provide any such compensation. And so if they need compensation, he advises that they should go to the UN in terms of, and those who have already taken money from the UN, they should also proceed to move from the place. Or either than that, they should appeal to central government. But at the assembly level, their work from the presidency is to inform them that they are going to demolish the place after September 30. That is where his work ends, and that is simply what he's notified them of in the last 2 months.
Joseph Akable is my colleague who's been monitoring this for us. Let's have a conversation now on dealing with the increasing crimes, especially in the Kaswa enclave. And I'm joined by Dr. Opokuwari, who is a criminologist and crime researcher with KNUST. In fact, he has done a lot of work on the Kaswa area. And I'm also joined by Adam Bona, who is a security analyst and CEO of Security Warehouse. I'm grateful for your time, gentlemen. But I would like to start from our Central Region correspondent, Richard Kwejo-Nyako, who has been reporting from this area tagged as a haven for criminals. Kwejo-Nyako, I need you to paint a picture of this area which has gradually gained notoriety for criminal activities.
Also, Aisha, the place is in the Central Region, all right, but it is not in Kaswa. So whenever any activity or criminal activity happens, it is attributed to Kaswa, and that informed what the chiefs have been saying, that they want peace in their area, and the Buduburam area is earning a bad name for them, and that informed their decision to petition government to have the place demolished. And so people passed there, they snag their phones, they do all manner of criminal activities, and so people found it even difficult to even pass through that particular area. The land guard activities that go on in that particular area, they attribute it to the gangs coming from the Buduburam area. They said that they have formed these cliques, and then the groups, and people go there to hire them for all manner of nefarious activities. And so if that place is brought down, it will bring some kind of peace and some kind of relief to the people in that particular area. So proud to the announcement by the authorities there to have the place demolished. The chiefs there organized series of press conferences telling government that they need their land for other development activities so that they would have their peace of mind. Because once the place is mentioned, and because of proximity to Kaswa, people associate all manner of criminal activities. You remember the incident that happened in Kaswa, and it brought about some security apprehensions. And so the regional police command had to deploy a lot of police personnel there to enable them deal with the situation. And so that area is noted for a lot of criminal activities. And so it will be a big sigh of relief for the residents, not only at Kaswa and its enclave, but other parts of the Central Region, because they feel that these people are the places that they breed criminals, and so they export them to other areas to have criminal activities in the region and even beyond the region as well.
I think I can now safely bring in Dr. Opokuwari and Adam Bona, and I'll start with you, Doc. This area has been a concern for you, particularly because of the influx of different foreign nationals. This plan to demolish the place must come to you as good news. Yes, Doc, unmute for me. Doc, kindly unmute for me.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I think you can hear me now.
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes. Okay, so it's obviously a good news for me. I mean, just as I think it should be good news for all the residents in and around the area, especially Kaswa, because based on the studies I did over there, I realized that there is a flip over, or let me say a ripple effect of all the activities that's happening within Buduburam, reflecting in Kaswa, especially in terms of the criminal activities. Because what is happening is that because of the high residential instability patterns in that area, it has created high activity nodes where you see most of the things that happen there, because people keep moving in and out, people are able to come in and do whatever they want without any proper profiling of those people. So for me, it is very good news, and I think that it's long overdue. This is something that some of us have communicated to the security people over the years, that look, because of what is happening within the camp and the fact that the place has become high criminal attractive place or criminal attractor, it is very important that we get rid of that place and do something better with it. So I'm very happy that this thing is finally going to happen.
Mr. Bona, just recently you made reference to how Kaswa has deteriorated, in terms of criminal activities. Is this the panacea to curbing the increasing crime rate, especially in that area? Kindly unmute for me, Mr. Bona.
Yes, Aisha. Good afternoon.
Great.
Yes, I am happy to note or to know that at least our leaders are waking up to the fact that Kaswa for the last 10 years has been a supplier of criminals all over the country. If you check the police's own database, they will tell you that most heinous crimes that have been committed in this country found its roots to Kaswa and the Buduburam camp area. And some of us have said it repeatedly that if the place is no longer a refugee camp, why do you still have people there who are not supposed to be there? And so as far as I'm concerned, and I think I've reiterated this severally, that Kaswa or that area suffers what I call identity crisis. So for a very long time, I started, referring to the place as a banana community, so that it became a community where when criminals or gangs committed criminal activities and the police chased them and they ran into the place, it became overly difficult for the police or the security officers to find them, because you have made such structures. Where are these people? And once they go in there, they vanish into thin air, and the place is so vast. And so as far as I'm concerned, I want to believe that Kaswa becoming the 18th police region of the Ghana Police Service would have to be given its proper recognition by demolishing the place. And I think nothing should stop the security the security officers or the police and the military and those in charge from demolishing it. And I think that the leadership of this country have some of us our 100% support. That place should go, so that once it's become a supplier of criminals in this country, once you cut the roots, you destroy the roots of where most of these crimes are started from, hoping that when we are discussing crime, we will know how to discuss it. But at the moment, it is become, can you imagine there was a highway robbery just very close to, I think, the Winneba area. You are talking about, and when the officers did investigated, that was instigated from that area. And so as far as I'm concerned, Aisha, I think it has, just like the DC or MCU said, it has outlived its usefulness. It should have gone probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. But as to why we left it up to today, I don't know. So better late than never. It should go as soon as possible.
Dr. Pokuwari, these people, as we've heard them speak in the video, do not intend to leave the area. And of course, it looks like they are not going to leave the area, but rather go to other parts of the country. And so if they're going to spread across other areas, what difference will that make? And some will say, wouldn't they rather spread their criminal activities in other areas?
Yes, there is always that tendency that, as they move to the edges of the communities, for instance, as they move probably deeper into Greater Accra and a central region, and even some part of western regions, you might have those criminal tendencies to also go and perpetrate their act. But you see, once you are able to break the camp, what happens is that that social support system and the network of ties that are so strong within the camp that is used to perpetrate criminal activities are broken. So it will take time for them to be able to go somewhere and begin to now rebuild those ties. And I think that, within Ghanaian communities generally, we have these social support systems at the community level that help us to be able to profile strangers and people who we are not known to be within our community. So though there's that tendency for them to move around, it will take time for them to be able to spread those kind of criminal tendencies. For me, what is making me so happy with this news of this Buduburam going is the fact that, you see, what has happened over the years is that the place has become what I call a receptive center, okay, for all nationals within the sub-region. For instance, within those from our western border, the eastern border, and even from our northern borders. So you realize that over the years, when people want to come into the country and perpetrate whatever activity they want to do, the place become the first stop for them to be able to now move into the deeper areas of the country. So Aisha, look, if you observe crime patterns, especially if you look at what we call land guards within the country, especially within the Greater Accra and Central region, you find that those that happen within the Kaswa enclave are very brutal. You know why they are very brutal? They are very brutal because most people who go to hide those people, the people they go to hide are normally not Ghanaians. They have no familiar and relationship ties with anybody within the system. So what happens is that when you encroach into the area that they are supposed to protect and they even murder you there, All that they do is just to pack their bags and cross either into the eastern, western, or even the northern borders and go and chill and cool down until all the noise is over and now come back. When they come back, because of the kind of network systems and social support systems those foreigners have built within the Buduburam camp, the people, they use that support system to protect the criminals. That is why, as my friend Adam Bona was saying, you see that when crime is occasioned, the people have to run to the camp. And now when they go there, the individuals and their families and those people, they use their network system to protect them so that they are not caught. So for me, it is very, very good that, look, we are breaking this camp. It is a very good way for us to break that network of ties and system so that whatever they are using to be able to build that infrastructure of criminal, activities is destroyed permanently.
Mr. Bana, once this is done, what should happen?
Well, what should happen? I'm not sure what government is going to use the land for. I'm told the chiefs and people want the land back, but I would have wished that government would have used it as somewhat training facility for the Ghana Police, Immigration, or, a training facility for one of the security services. Because at the moment, as my colleague on the other side, they mentioned, Kaswa has become something that all of us have been trying over the years to let the authorities know, destroy this camp, break it down, because it is difficult to, handle these guys within the area. And so, yes, if you realize, when it became a police region, police activities or security activities have increased. So you notice there's been a lot of killings of criminals by police officers. Because the moment you leave that area and you go into a new area and an area that you are not familiar with, chances are that the community would identify you to be a stranger. The community will be able to give information about you to the security agencies, like my colleague on the other side said. And so now breaking it up, it is either they are going to stop their nefarious activities, or if they continue, chances are that they will be arrested or they will be gunned down by the police. And so we are hoping that the curve is going to go up in terms of criminal activities all over the country, but it will begin to descend again, especially, with the new police administration. So Aisha, I am, I'm believing, just like my colleague, that this camp should have gone, many years ago, but better late than never. If they are demolishing it, they should demolish it. We can hear the threats from those people. They said they will have nowhere to go. If at Babloshi market, what's the name? The Yam market was pulled down, and other locations were pulled down. I don't see anything these people can do. At the end of the day, we operate in a democracy. If they think they have a reason to stay there, they can go to court. But at the moment, the people of Ghana wants that land back. It's no longer a refugee camp. So they should, bulldoze it down, and let's have our peace in Ghana, Aisha.
Dr. Pokawari, I'm asking about what should happen next because of security apparatus, security strategies. I mean, should we just demolish this area and fold our arms and the case of criminality is over?
Not necessarily. We must begin to profile them. For me, if I was in charge, I'll basically profile the people even before they leave. We must try as much as possible to ensure that communities that are closer to this camp, and especially closer to Kaswa, begin to watch movement of people up and down and begin to now question and profile people they suspect. As I've already said, there's a tendency for these guys to begin moving closer to, communities that lie on the edges of Kaswa. So for me, the communities must now begin to be careful. They must be awake. They must now ask questions of people that they are not known within their communities. And as a country, I think that, we must now also begin to regulate, the way we allow people to cross into our country. For me, it is something that is very serious, especially when we don't profile people who come in and out. We must begin to do that. So let's be on the lookout. Let everybody be vigilant, especially communities that are closer to Kaswa. Let's be vigilant. Let's begin to use the localized network of ties. Let's begin to be each brother's keeper and begin asking questions of people that show certain strange characters from what we already know within our communities.
Kojonyako, you've been gauging the mood around the area. How are the people within this vicinity taking this whole demolition exercise?
Well, so there are concerns already, not from the people that are in Kaswa currently, but from other parts of the central region. They want the Ghana Police Service to tighten security, to deploy more security personnel around the central region, because they feel that the spillover effect will be huge. And so there should be some kind of a protective shield around the people of the central region, because once they demolish the structures there, they would want to find ways, other places to also form the cliques, and then they will continue with their activities. And so that is the call they are making to the Ghana Police Service to, as a matter of necessity and urgency, they should deploy more police personnel to protect the people of the central region, because they feel the effect of the activity that will go on there as far as the demolition is concerned.
Mr. Bona, Dr. Pokuwari hit it right there that, from now up to the time that the demolition is over, we must be each other's keeper, and people around must be vigilant. In terms of policing, in terms of community watchdog, what are your expectations?
Well, my expectations, I will put them in two broad contexts. The people here, when I say the people, all of us, we need to our state of alertness, not just within the immediate environment, but the whole country. We have to be on high alert, because we are going to have the spillover would go as far as Mpuruguyoyo and not everywhere. So let's be on a high alert, because there are some criminals the police have been chasing for years. And I know some of them are hiding in the Kaswa, the Buduburam camp area. So chances are that the police have been waiting for some of these people around the peripherals. So as the place is going to begin to go down, chances are that, I have been informed, really informed by the police, that they are going to send some of their best teams there. They're already there. They'll increase the number as the day, goes by in terms of the demolition. But with us, the people, we need to, know who is moving into our community, and begin to share information about them to the security agencies. If we feel there's something wrong about this person, who this person is, probably we are not too clear about, we should speak up. Because if we keep quiet, chances are that we are going to have the manifestation, the spillover effect of Kaswa probably doing a lot of harm to us. And let me put it on here that I've conducted, recently just finished a survey for academic purposes, and the impact of migration on business performance. And Kaswa was one of the communities I sampled, Kaswa, Medina, and Ashaman. And the response I got from small businesses in the Kaswa and Buduburam enclave was telling. They said because of that, they don't seem to attract the quality of their customers is so low. Real estate developers complain that they are not getting people to buy their homes. We got people who have built, people I sampled in the survey who said that they have homes, they have developed, and the rent is so low. But the truth is that you will not get the quality of tenants to come and rent. And so this has the dynamics. Let's look at it and say this camp going down. Chances are that the way of life within that area is very paramount. I fear sometimes even crossing to Cape Coast. If I have to do, you get there very early, or else you don't know what will be awaiting you in that area. Aisha.
Dr. Pokuwari, you talked about profiling these people before allowing them to go. By profiling, what exactly are you looking at?
Yes, because some of them, even based on the interviews that Akable did, said that they have evidence that they belong to the refugee board or refugee something. Okay, so genuinely, if you are part of those that have been, captured within the database for the UNHCR, you should have those documents to prove. And then we can probably track you. The UNHCR should be able to also properly track you, even from here to wherever you are going. And then all those that are not, they don't have any documents to prove, their stay here within the camp, then we should know that these are people who have infiltrated within the community. And these are people that quickly, we must take their information. If you have to even fingerprint them, do all those things and get their information. You see, we must begin to, be more serious with who comes into our territory and who goes out. Because if you look at the crime literature, there's always a link between migration and crime patterns in community. That's why when you travel outside to America or even to Europe, they are very strict on migration because, you see, as people keep moving in and out within a locality, people from different parts, what happens is that they corrupt the network of ties and the bonds and the social systems there. And they can infiltrate, and also, influence the localized people or people who are indigenous within the community in terms of the kind of behaviors. So this is something that I think that we must begin to do. It is very important that just as we do at the airport, also within our land borders and other places, we must begin now taking certain, vital information of people in terms of those who go in and who go out. As I know, sometimes even when you are even traveling outside this country and you come back, your data is taken at the airport, though you are a Ghanaian. So these things, we must begin to do them. We shouldn't just allow them to go. We must have those kind of information so that immediately they cross back into this country, at least we can begin to track them and know that, look, these guys are up to mischief, and then we have to find a way to deal with them.
Mr. Bana, before I let you go, how much information do we need to get on these people before we allow them to go? Now that we know it's very important.
We must get every bit of information. Many of them have no business staying in this country, per their own account.
Mr. Bana, kindly unmute for me. I don't know if your hand touched something. Mr. Bana, kindly unmute for me. We lost you briefly. Hello, Mr. Bana. All right, so Mr. Bana is making the point about information we need to acquire from all these people that we want to let off the hook to leave our country or wherever they find themselves because of the demolition that will happen at Buduburam. Mr. Bana, if you can hear me, we lost you briefly on that one. Okay, so whilst we get Mr. Bana to talk about that, I think I can give Dr. Opokuwari that opportunity. I mean, you spoke about the issue of profiling, which you say is very critical at this point if we would have to let them go. But how much information do we have to take from these people so we can monitor and track their activities even as we let them go? All right, so Mr. Bana, if you are back, wrap it up for me. All right, so I think we're having a bit of a challenge of internet from my resource persons, but they've been making very critical points on the reason why we need this demolition exercise. And they talk about how this will help a great deal to sanitize the Kaswa area, especially the Buduburam area, which has now become a safe haven for criminal activities. Mr. Bana, are you back? Yes, Mr. Bana. So wrap it up for me on the information bit.
Now, what I'm saying is that most of these people have no right staying in this country. And we are not a banana republic. They should collect their ages, what they've been doing here, how long they've been staying here, where they are coming from. We need to know what business they do here, education. We must have every information about them. And let's extend it to even find out whether these people might have committed any crime either in this country or outside, wherever they are coming from. Then, if we have to send them away, we send them away. But let's not just demolish and allow those who have no business to stay in this country to go into other areas and settle, because you and I know that even if you're a West African national, you could stay here for 90 days. Afterwards, you are supposed to leave and come back again, or else you should change your status. So mine is that these people who have no right to stay here, let's collect information about them before the demolition. If they haven't done that, once they do that, they should do it. But the truth is that whatever the case is, some of us want to see the demolition of the place start earnestly, and whatever information they collect, it should be used in sending those who have to be sent away. And those who have to be kept here, we know who they are. Because 30 years ago, if a woman got pregnant here 30 years ago as a refugee, that child would have been, 30 years today. And if that child has no status, mine is that, what do we do? So we need to find a way to ensure that those who don't have to stay here, they are sent away. Those who have to stay, they stay, but then we find a way to ensure that the criminal activities these people are brought onto us stops.
Kojonako, from now till the time the demolition is over, I guess you know there's a lot of work for you. Are you ready?
Yes, very ready. Some tedious work to be done because it is not going to be easy. Not just they said that they are going to demolish the place, the people will just give way for them. We realize what happened there and the kind of things they were saying. And so it's not going to be easy. And so a lot more work is expected to be done.
I'm grateful, gentlemen, for your time. Adam Bona is security analyst and CEO of Security Warehouse. Dr. Opokuwari is a criminologist and criminal researcher.